Rob and Slim Show, we are back with Dave Maresca.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome, Dave. I was hoping I got your name right. From the Hollow9ine Network, and that's the number 9, INE.
Yeah, man. Thank
Cool.
you for getting that right, too. Usually people make me do all that work when I come on their shows.
I tried to do a little work, my friend. And you're in Hackensack, New Jersey, right, dude?
Yeah, well, I actually just recently departed Hackensack. I'm heading south of the Mason-Dixon line to move in with my girlfriend, but Hackensack was the original headquarters of the Hollow9ine Network. So,
I grew up in
tonight,
we're
Hackensack strong.
I grew up in New Milford, my friend. What was that?
Oh,
like?
dude,
Town
that's
over.
like right in my neighborhood, bro. I
Yeah.
also, my parents are in Hillsdale. I hung out in Tenafly and Bergenfield for a while. New Jersey, all over the place.
Jersey, yes, Jersey strong, my friend. Where have you located to though? Like,
Well, I've actually moved down to Northern Virginia to move in with the better half of my current life. So, there'll be some more details of that coming out on some new episodes of the Hollow9ine Network. So you guys can kind of tune in over there as she allows me to release more details.
on the network though, you do your own show, correct?
Oh yeah. Well, we've gone through a couple of iterations. We have existed as the main automatic feed that we've had since 2006. Actually, we didn't, always have this much of a focus though. Hollow9ine really kind of came into its own in like 2015, and at that point we had several different RSS feeds coming out of Hollow9ine.com, and we're going back to that model, but we're sort of in the beginning of our reboot relaunch phase where we've got some new talent, some new blood. A lot of people have left, some new people have come in, and some new things are in the works. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to tell a few people about it tonight on your show, man.
No problem. Thank you, dude, and for being around so long in the game. Like, what could you tell someone maybe just starting out, or even doing it for 6 years and not having the following they thought they'd have? I'm still.
It's
grind.
I gotta say, you guys really have done something pretty awesome with your show. Your show is very much like what I always envisioned stuff like internet radio and podcasting being like. So it's like a extra special treat that you asked me that question on here. But for the most part, this whole medium is ultra freedom. If you have ideas, if you have creativity that you're just like need to do something with, this is the wild, wild west where you can build everything brand new. So that's kind of what we thought about in the beginning. We pictured ourselves kind of like, when Weird Al Yankovic inherits a TV station in the movie UHF.
Yes.
Like, I felt like that when I got my first Mac, and GarageBand had all these sound effects and stingers and music in it you could use and things that you could build your own music with. I was like, holy shit, I might never leave my apartment again. Now, if only I could figure out a way to make money doing this.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I've talked to so many people. We've had big YouTubers like Robert Frank and Matthew Santoro, and they both have said, like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what we did.
It just happened.
And even in our peak, we never made enough to support ourselves, like just off of that. So
yeah. You always have to subsidize with a day job, right?
Yes.
Well, but you guys got Jamie Kennedy coming up later, man. You guys are doing fucking amazing. Oh,
Thank
am I
you,
allowed
bro.
to curse on here? Is that okay?
Oh, fuck yeah, let them fly. And dude, I've always said, like, we've gotten to the point where we tried getting sponsors or whatever, and like, we're just doing it for fun. We just fucking do it to do it, and to say at work, just to say to my coworkers, I got Jamie Kennedy this week, like, and they're like, wow,
dude,
you're the best.
So badass, man.
Yeah. No, it is. And I've even thought over the years where, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, have I had fun? Do I still have fun? And I'll go back and I'll watch a clip or I'll listen, and I'm laughing and I'm having a good time. So that's all that fucking matters.
It's like you have your own shared universe within all the stuff you guys have done, all those skits. I mean, that's this kind of variety show thing you guys got going on. I was just like, oh, holy shit! When I got to give Jack Thomas a shout out.
I was gonna ask because he connected us, and I wanted to ask how you connected with him because he is on that level, dude.
Dude, I don't know if you've listened to any of the episodes I've been on with him, but even at the end of them, I'm always like, look, man, I don't know if that was what you wanted. I don't know if that was where you wanted to go. He's like, no, dude, that was 90 minutes of pure insanity.
Yo, I was on with him, and I'm like, I don't even know if I did good. I'm like, Jack, I'm sorry if I was lame. He's like, no, you were the best. Like, I'm like, you did great. Like, and I'm like, wow, yeah, no, we just rambled for 90 minutes, like you said.
And he just goes, man. Like, even when I think I've gone as deep as it could possibly go. All right, that shit, what I just said, that scared me even. I'm afraid now. And he's like, yeah, but what if we go even further? And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yo, it's like, no matter what you have prepared for Jack, he's going to still throw you off with something you have no prep for. Like, you can't prep for that guy. He's amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he and I, so like in 2016, 2017, I was suddenly popping up in a lot of podcasting groups on Facebook that I hadn't really known about before. And I think our paths crossed when we were sharing on like one, each of these groups have this, fucking Facebook. Okay. I'm going to bitch about places that I actually use to promote my show, but some people need to hear some of these things. Yeah, so fuck it.
They do.
It's like, why would you create a Facebook group and then be pissed that people are promoting themselves in it? So they always will say, all right, there's one day a week everyone's allowed to promote. And then if you promote on days other than those, they all get really bitchy. I'm like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to be doing in here besides promoting ourselves? Talking about, well, it was really nice looking at the wall while I was waiting for this edit to finish today. Fucking killing me. So I think we kind of caught each other's attention dropping episodes, and it was sort of like, hey, man, I do a show, you do a show, let's guest on each other's shows. And it just kind of grew from there. And
he told me, too, you do an audio drama thing called Tilted Tangent City, and that sounded really cool.
Oh, Tangent City, man. Okay, so Tangent City is actually one of the things that, for the moment, is kind of it's being rebooted because part of our internal reorganization was a lot of people leaving who were doing voices for it, some people who were writing some of the storylines for it. So obviously all the stuff they were doing is being omitted, and we're recasting parts. But yeah, we kind of came up with this sort of like Sin City, Black Mirror meets Game of Thrones, with a little bit of like the Muppet Show for the randomness thrown in there and the comedy. And it's all taking place in this fictional city called Tangent City. We did 5 hours out of a 9-hour planned season, and we have 4 or 5 seasons mapped out. So it's going to be the thing that we probably die still working on. But it was a lot of fun, and Jack is going to play a really cool part in it that once we talked, I was like, okay, I know you can do some really crazy shit if we make you, like, say, like a journalist who looks into conspiracy theories, and the next thing you know, he's being, like, tracked by a cult or something. And he was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, but it'll get better than that. Just,
I don't know. I feel like that's Jack's life already.
Sometimes you cast from what people know, man. You're like, I feel like you've done some of this shit, haven't you? Yeah. Well, what about you guys? Like, where do you guys come up with all the ideas for your different sketches and stuff? Because
it's all Rob.
It's I won't even say that though. Sometimes it's been like just the misspeak of a line by Slim or our other third mic who's not around anymore. Like we've had that, or just from a news story we did where like it's like that's too many rapes, and for 4 years we've been doing too many rapes.
That was so funny, dude. Too many rapes.
Yeah.
I was like walking around the block going, holy shit, this is the show I'm going to be on later. I got to figure out how they do this. 'Cause you guys have, what is your post-production got to be like? You guys must be just cranking stuff out constantly to put together a 3-hour show like that.
I do all the booking, all the guest booking, and all the just creative shit. I find like the news stories, the writing. I write the skits and all that because it's all in me. Like I don't even give a shit if I haven't even thought about it that day. If I sit down at a laptop, it'll just shit out of me. And Slim does all the editing, which he kind of got down to a science too, like of the show where when we're on break, he puts a certain screen up where he just cuts it out, and that's basically it, dude. We just let it flow. We just let it go.
Dude. Well, thank you guys for letting me come hang out, because this is definitely the kind of playhouse that I'd love to come guest in. And then you guys got to come over and hang out with us sometime too.
I love it. I just saw a guy last night, and this guy, I wish I knew. I wish I could give him a shout out on Twitter, but I don't remember. I just saw he was a recent follow of mine, and he's trying to podcast, and one thing he read, I guess, he's now trying a podcast by just looking at what people what successful people are suggesting. And one thing is auditioning guests, and I'm like, dude, I don't agree with that at all, and he didn't either.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't agree with it at all. Prep for your guest, but the best conversations just happen. They just happen. Like,
absolutely.
When you're thrown off.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And it's also part of this world is it's kind of like, you know, for especially like for a guy like you, a guy like me, I can tell you, like, you just have these things that are just kind of like, if I don't say this, it literally doesn't get out to the world.
Yes.
But in my mind, I had a party with that for at least a half an hour, and I was like, fuck, man, I want people to come to this party with me.
Dude,
and podcasting and online broadcasting is a perfect way for that.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with myself in my driveway, chain smoking, and I'm like, this is going on the show this week, or this is going in this interview that I'm calling in a couple days. Like, yeah, that is absolutely how it happens.
Fucking nuts, man. And then, like, to just, I don't know, I just feel like after a while I was listening going like, man, so how long you guys go X number of episodes and then a season end and then you guys take a break, or is it kind of a constant feeding the beast forever thing? Because that was one of the things as a podcaster we've always been struggling with, is like, we have these periods where we're really creative, we put out a lot of content, and then we kind of peel back. And like, I almost like the way people take a year or 6 months to make a movie. We'll do that. We'll go and like go to different events and interview people, and then we have a ton of shit to start pushing out again, you know.
Oh, that's
but
cool.
With you guys, how do you guys find the balance in your pacing and all that?
So it's all very consistent, which I was telling Rob earlier, which I think it's an accomplishment in itself, that we've never fell off of the consistency of like when we do the show, when we end the show, but every year from the end of August or September is when we start. We go all the way till now. This is our last show for the season, and then we take the, you know, like 2 months, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending, but we'll always be back in like the beginning of September.
Yeah,
I don't think we ever came back any later than that.
No. I get my kids over the summer, and I like to devote all my time to them when they come up, and it refreshes the creative batteries as well, but I also just get to hang out with them, and I also feel like, I don't know, at some points in the season, I'm reviewing shows or whatever, there's always something to focus on, and honestly, with the stupid COVID shit, it was like, almost a broadcaster's wet dream. You always got something to talk about, even though it sucks, even though the world fucking sucks, and you always got something. You always got some bullshit. You always got stupid Trump, like talking about shooting up bleach or whatever that bullshit. What an asshole. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, the world is kind of handing it all to us on a silver platter. You know, like they always said, like, the reason that a lot of the classic music that has been labeled the classic music up until now, classic rock, is all from, like, the 60s and 70s, because we had Vietnam just ruining the world. So I hate to sound morbid, but there are those times where some, like, seriously dark shit starts happening, and all the people who have that creativity that was already kind of just, like, bubbling and driving them crazy, now it has to come out, you know? And because it's being fueled by this thing that's big, and all of us are scared of it at the same time, it's kind of like, fuck it, man, this could be my last shot. So everything's coming out at the top of the game.
That's what I'm saying. We could be dead by the end of our summer break. We don't even know. We have no fucking clue what's coming. But we're gonna keep pushing it till then. Like, I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah. What else can we do?
Yeah.
What else? It does feel weird to be living out like the backdrop of what like would have been an '80s action movie. You know what I mean? Like, so this is the shit that in all the
an 80s B sci-fi movie
starring John McClane as John McClane
in current COVID. You know what I mean? Like all these things that we're just like, oh yeah, that shit'll never happen. We're smart. By 2020, we're gonna have the flying cars, and it's like, no.
Oh yeah, no,
we all got to bunker down.
We're gonna have it all figured out. No, we have nothing figured out. We're all fucked. We're all fucked, and this is fucked. I've been around for 43 years. I've never seen anything like this. I talked to I don't know. She had to be in her 80s, a woman, about a week or two ago. You know, just in passing, and she said in her lifetime she's never seen anything like this. Like, I don't think anyone has seen anything like this.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like we were specifically told we wouldn't. That there was no way we would. Maybe New Jersey had like our public education system had weird textbooks or some shit. But it was like, I just felt like we all had hope when we left there, you know? Like, you're only a couple years older than me, man. So we all had this different feeling, and it was all pre-9/11, and then it was pre-COVID. You know, now it's like we've got these weird eras that define time that was sort of like, That shit's only supposed to happen on TV.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like we were talking before the show too, how like 9/11 like affected the world forever. Like there's things that never
affected things forever, but it was only one horrible thing. It wasn't like everything that year. It wasn't like, oh yeah, but we also didn't realize at that time either that things were never going to go back to normal. We were like, let's get through this.
Right.
Let's get through this and let's recover. But now I don't even know.
Yeah, like this year is going to change the rest of forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys, just to kind of stir this pot a little bit, are you guys into conspiracy theories at all? Like, have you gone down any of those rabbit holes over the last, say, 5 years? Because anyone who has, for this shit to be happening now and all the stuff that's been coming after, that's got to be like their wet dream coming true. Also.
Not necessarily. Like, I don't always want to even. A lot of times I don't want to believe those and all that, but I will. I will look into it. Earlier, just this show, we were talking, Dave, about just, I don't know if you've seen all the UFO type things that have been coming out the past couple months. Like it's astounding.
I think it's been since 2017. Like I feel like 2017, like the New York Times had actually published an article that was just like, aliens are real, and like everybody was like, no, but Trump said Kofifi, so that's more important.
Exactly. And like it was the next number in the Naked Gun series. He said that word, and all of us just turned off. Like our minds were like, never mind. I can't see anything else going on. I must kill the queen. I must kill. I don't see the UFO. But now, I mean, you got Hangar 1 just came out on Netflix, which I think is from around 2017, 2018. All these shows making it like, oh yeah, we've all known UFOs are real forever. Well, like, what the fuck? No, you guys told us they weren't.
You had classified things that said they weren't. Yeah, you fucking asshole. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, come on. Making it like we're the idiots. Like, dude, we see the shit flying around. We know something's up. Like, there was like a whole bunch of people at Great Adventure, right? They looked up and saw like a ring that like just kind of dropped out of the cloud for a second and then popped back up. I should have found that shit on YouTube before.
I've seen shit just driving. I've seen shit driving like about, late 90s down here, and you just see orbs of light that shot up from the ground, and like, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't fucking see it. Like, green orbs of light just shooting up. Like, what the fuck was that?
Oh no, dude, that's fumes from like the swamp gas or whatever, right?
Oh,
that's
is that what that
weather
is?
balloons floating by.
That swamp thing.
So I don't research conspiracy theories as much as I did when I was younger. I used to get really big into it, but there's still some crazy shit, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Shit that just pops into my head, and I'm like, oh my god, that would make sense. So what I've been thinking lately is, being in retail, this pandemic has skyrocketed sales. Like, we've maxed the fuck out. We've made so many sales. So to me,
COVID I don't buy Shitmart.
Right, I might get a lot of flack for going into this territory, but I just thought it was weird that COVID started going away, and now suddenly like a bunch of police officers got together, killed a guy, and bam, riots. Like, in my brain, I'm like, oh, did the corporate overlords get together and we're like, yo, fuck, we got to keep this COVID thing going. How can we get like a bunch of people together to like respike this shit?
Charmin 19.
Oh,
Charmin 19.
Wow.
Charmin 19.
Right? Like, let's like pay off a couple of cops, have them kill a black guy,
dude,
cause a bunch of protests, and like.
How did out of 4 cops nobody thought that was a bad idea? How did out of 4 cops nobody like just grabbed the guy's leg and just ripped it off the guy? What the fuck? I don't know.
It does have that weird feeling, right? You're like, look, I know how crazy it sounds. I understand how crazy I sound saying it. I'm still going to say it because they're counting on me being afraid of sounding crazy, and that's why we won't talk about this shit. But if we would, maybe we'll find out if it's true. I don't know. There's just enough stuff out there that you're kind of just like, well, fuck. I mean, hey, literally.
Some had the craziest idea that COVID started here and not in New York City. And then it turned out the mayor of Red Bank thought he had it, and he got tested, and he had long-term antibodies, which you wouldn't have gotten when they said they started. If it came from New York, it would have taken longer to get down here, I feel like. No, like, we had it. We had it in the winter. We all
like
did.
Late November.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, I had the flu last April, and I'm pretty sure from how fast it came out of nowhere and how I was like, I didn't even think there was a flu going around. So, I'm like, who knows, man? Maybe there was stuff being tested in little pockets You know,
Yeah.
or it was mutating because God, we don't even know how long shit takes to mutate.
We don't even
We
know.
don't even know if it really does.
I know. All I
That's a
know is I
word
had the
that, like-
worst. I had the worst fever I've had, and I can't even tell you how long. Maybe like 7 to 10 years. I've never had a fever that bad. I've never coughed where like my whole body hurts as much as I did this past.
Oh, did you have it? Did you actually have COVID?
I think I did. I'd never gotten tested for antibodies, but I think we all did. Like back
shit.
in back in the winter, man.
Yeah.
Well, and they had traced it back that in China that some of the first cases they changed the date to like late November, and that's when we all got sick.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised.
And they're
you
definitely
know.
covering up. They're definitely covering some shit up. They got the wall.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
And then it's weird that all these celebrities are. Now, I don't believe that it's a fake thing. Like, I one of my good podcasting friends, my buddy Drew Carson, who runs Radio Haver. Everybody check that out. You hear Hollow9ine over there every Wednesday night. He full-on had it. Couldn't even be, like, he isolated within his house. Couldn't even be in the same room as his wife because she's a frontline responder over there. This is over in Scotland. So there is the side of me that says, like, ain't no way in any of these sort of weird conjectures I like to make am I trying to belittle anybody who's out there who's got it or trying to deny that it's happening, but just the way things unfold, the way this is happening bears enough strangeness that we should do a whole fucking podcast about it. You know what I mean? And maybe we will. Who knows?
Right?
And you're hearing that for the first time right now.
You also have 30-year-olds just dropping dead, and then you have like 80, 90-year-olds like that are recovering. Like it's so weird how it kills who it does.
One of the weirdest things, another thing that got those conspiracy gears rolling in my head was I watched a documentary on Netflix that was about the coronavirus that was filmed like a year ago.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right, that by itself is pretty strange. And like in this documentary, they're like, oh yeah, like there was this a virus that like we looked at it and we were like, oh no, that's harmless. And then all of a sudden it became the coronavirus. Like that's a little weird. That's a little weird that you knew that this thing was here and you dismissed it. I don't fully believe that. I kind of feel like, oh, somebody got a hold of this fucking thing and we're like, how can we make this more deadly? How can we get this fucking thing to infect humans?
I'm gonna be Doc Ock. I'm gonna be Doc
Bat.
Doc Bat.
Yeah, man. Well, what about too? Like, remember, like just before all this, there was that mysterious. It was like a mysterious lung illness that only people who were vaping were getting.
Yes.
And there was this.
I didn't hear that.
The popcorn particles.
Yeah, like your lungs would all get all like popcorny inside, but
maybe that's what it was.
Like 19-year-olds were dying from it, and it was this mysterious respiratory thing that nobody knew anything about. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay.
That's how they spread it.
Is that the first test or what? Like, what's going on here? Why is that so close to then a global thing that's very similar?
Yeah.
They started testing it by putting it into the fucking juice in the vapes or
Yeah,
whatever that is.
and the best mods come from China. The best mods come from China.
the best
there you go.
vaping mods come from China.
I blow all my rings from China.
Hey, when you can't get them here because you're on lockdown, what else are you going to do?
Damn right. Dave, we have to wrap
Those
this
guys will
up.
ship anywhere.
We have to wrap this up, but Slim's showing you a skullet. Slim's got a new skullet. I don't know if you're watching right now, but if you see us on YouTube, and you'll see his sweet skullet. He got a haircut for the Corona season.
Nice, man. I was going to rock a nice Corona beard, but every time I was like, this shit's too itchy. I don't know how the hockey fans do it for November.
I've tried to grow a beard. Yeah.
Second day of stubble with a mask is like, fuck, I need to shave. Like, I can't.
Crazy, man.
I can't, man. But where can everybody find you, dude?
All right, well, you can find us, everything can be found at hollow9ine.com. It's the word hollow, the number 9, I-N-E, all one word. I'm also hanging out over at the Terra Firma Artist Union on Facebook, and you can hear us on Radio Haver Wednesdays at 11 p.m. That's UK time, so I guess over here at 6 p.m. East Coast. But yeah, Hollow9ine, and we also just launched our Anchor feed on Anchor FM, so you can find us over Hollow9ine. Everything goes also to Spotify, all the places where you find all the good podcasting awesomeness. And now a link to Robin Slim's show will be added to the Hollow9ine website as well.
Thank you so much, my friend. And definitely, if you have any projects coming up that you think we would be all right for, either voice-wise or whatever, definitely hit us up.
All right, man. No pressure for doing that on the air, but absolutely, it was something I was going to say to you guys before we went. So hell yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, no. Even if you never did, even whatever. But yeah, if you ever have any openings for anything, like, yeah, I'd be totally down to do.
Yeah, man. No, you guys definitely have that. I kind of wanted to find a way to work, maybe like people in Tangent City could pick up your signal for the Rob and Slim show every once in a while in the middle of an episode.
Even if you throw,
pepper that in.
Even if you need, like, for a car ride, something in the background, and you got some haircut going on, like, yeah, whatever. We'll be down.
Yeah, man, we'll figure this out. We could share shared universes. I'm all about it.
Damn
man.
right.
Absolutely.
The Rob and Slim Hollow9ineverse.
There you go. Yeah, man, all branches lead.
Take care, Dave. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. This was a blast. We got to do it again sometime.
Absolutely, man.